Buenas and Hafa good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. We are here for our Guam Youth. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today for our Guam Youth Month resolution, celebrating the month of April as Youth Month. We have so many different partners and stakeholders who have joined us. You can see on your screens that our Zoom room is quite full. And so, although we would have liked to be together in person here at the legislature, celebrating as we usually would, or perhaps at the Youth Fest or one of the other great events throughout the Youth Month that we traditionally have, due to all of the interest and the participation today, we thought it would be best to keep it to the Zoom room so we can all be here and participate. And so we have so many people here today, and I'd like to thank especially my colleagues for joining me. We have Senator Tony Atta and Senator Joanne Brown, who have joined us. Thank you very much, colleagues. And also those in our Zoom room, we have Samantha Taitano from Manyetlu, the superintendent of the Guam Department of Education, John Fernandez. We have Angelina Sablan from Chief Harao Academy. We have Vicente Blas Tyron from the Guam Youth Congress, Ms. Maria Gutierrez from the Guam Education Board, Mr. Sean Nelson from the Department of Youth Affairs, Mr. Corey Regis from Sanctuary Incorporated, Al Labang, the Vice Speaker of the Guam Youth Congress, Zena Sablan from the Department of Education. We have Lawrence Camacho from the University of Guam, Zaya Chamberlain from St. Francis Catholic School, Alyssa Cuevas from the iBogs, Chloe Lazama from Teedson High School, a Guam Youth Congress representative, our Director of Department of Youth Affairs, Melanie Brennan, Kizia Dotimus from iBogs, and Mr. Mark Mendiola from the Guam Department of Education Board. We also have Mr. Vic Camacho, the Executive Director of Sanctuary Incorporated, Karina Quito from the Guam Girl Scouts, the Executive Director of the Guam Girl Scouts, Jaden Common, our Youth Congress representative from Mamang Tochamaiti, Ms. Teresa Areola, the Director of the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, Cherry Stewart, the Executive Director of the Guam Football Association, Marsheli Borja from iBogs, representative from Ukadu High School, Joyelle Setik from the Micronesian Resource Center, Stephanie Guzman from Sanctuary Incorporated, Angela Toves, also from Sanctuary, and Valentino Sengil, the president of the Guam Football Association. And I apologize if I've missed anybody in the Zoom room. We have just about 50 participants who are with us today. So if I've missed you, please add it in the chat, and I'd love to recognize you. And thank you all for being here today. Again, these are all of our partners, our stakeholders who are serving our young people, representing our young people, and many of Guam's youth who are here today as well. I'm joined by members of the Guam Youth Congress who will also be presenting a resolution today, and so many of our great partners who continue to do good work for all of Guam's Manhoban. So Siduas Maasi. This is really a promising time for Guam, I think. Though we're in a global pandemic that's disrupted our everyday life, from employment to education and family and healthcare, so many groups have been affected, and our youth are one of those groups. And our children have endured so much, I think, during this time. But we've learned that they are resilient. Our young people of Guam are resilient, and they are persevering. And they've been able to deal with all of these situations, I think, especially with the support of all of you who are on this call, from the education system to our nonprofit organizations, our government agencies, and our youth sports teams, you've all done such a great job. And so we're here today to recognize you, to recognize the resilience of our young people, and just all that you continue to do, and all of the work that I think is really ahead of us. So with that welcoming, I'd like to read out our resolution for today, why we are all here to recognize the numerous organizations, advocates, and partners on the observance of Guam Youth Month during April 2021, and commending them for their continued support and dedication to the youth of Guam. This resolution number 44-36 was introduced by myself and all of the senators of the 36th Guam legislature. Be it resolved by Iminay Trentay Sais Nilahesla Guahan, whereas each year the Department of Education celebrates Youth Month during the month of April with several activities, including an oratorical contest, a student exchange program, a school showcase, a youth conference, and the much anticipated Island Leadership Day. And Guam's youth have made various contributions to ensuring the well-being of our society and are commonly referred to as the leaders of tomorrow. Many of Guam's youth participate in volunteer activities and programs through their schools or private religious organizations for the betterment of our island community. And both in and out of school, Guam's youth participate in sports, music, theater, and other art activities, which provide greatly needed enjoyment and entertainment in all of our communities. Guam's youth are engaged in the use and development of technology and social media, supporting and promoting new skills and abilities which will be needed in our future economy, inspiring the achievement of successful goals for the youth, educating them for their essential roles in our society, and promoting their leadership are important steps to take in securing a successful future for our communities. It is also important to educate the youth of Guam about the organizations that are available to aid them to be successful, such as the Department of Youth Affairs, the government agency that is tasked to promote the betterment of youth in our community, the Island-wide Board of Governing Students, IBOGS, an organization that is used as a platform for students to give their opinions to promote stronger and safer environments in the schools, and the Department of Education, which has been an agent of change in educating the youth of Guam. The commitment of our island's elected officials to Guam's youth is also essential in paving the way for the success of our youth, such of that as the Honorable Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, the Honorable Lieutenant Governor Joshua Tenorio, and the Committee on the Advancement of Youth. We resolve that our continued commitment is to the youth of Guam. Guam's youth are dedicated to advancing the growth and development of an economy in which entrepreneurs will prosper, a culture of respect will develop, commitment and independence will be important, and the improvement of an educational system in which all students will flourish. Therefore, be it resolved that Iminay Trentay Sais Nilahesla Guahan does hereby, on behalf of the people of Guam, recognize the numerous organizations, advocates, and partners on the observance of Guam Youth Month during April 2021, and commend them for their continued support and dedication to the youth of Guam. And this has been signed by the Speaker, Therese M. Terlahi, our Vice Speaker and the Committee on Rules Chairperson, Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munoz-Barnes, and myself, the Legislative Secretary, today on the 9th day of April 2021. So Biba Youth Month, Biba Manhoban, thank you all for all you do. And I will pass the torch now on to the Guam Youth Congress, who's my partner organization, for their remarks and resolution presentation. And I think it's going to you, Vice Speaker Al Labang.
Yes, thank you, Senator Shelton.
Thank you.
So, Speaker Stephanie Lorenzo would like to apologize that she could not make it today. She got stuck in a school activity. But anyways, Renaissance Half a Day, Senator Shelton, and members of the 36 Guam legislature, our community stakeholders, and the youth of Guam. I would like to present Resolution 5-33 COR, which was passed and adopted by all members of the 33rd Guam Youth Congress. Relative to recognizing the month of April as Guam Youth Month and to further commending the numerous organizations, advocates, and service providers on Guam for their tremendous efforts in promoting the youth of Guam. Be it resolved by the Minute 33 na Congressman Holding Guahan, whereas Guam's youth have made various contributions in ensuring the well-being of our society and taking the mantle as leaders of tomorrow, to which they are commonly referred, and whereas many of Guam's youth participate in volunteer activities and programs through their schools or private and religious organizations for the betterment of our island community, and whereas Guam's youth are essential for the growth and development of the economy in which entrepreneurs will prosper, a culture of respect with commitment and independence will be important in an education system in which students will flourish. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Minute 33 na Congressman Holding Guahan hereby on behalf of the youth of Guam recognize the month of April as Guam Youth Month, and to further commend the numerous organizations, advocates, and service providers on Guam for their tremendous efforts in promoting the youth of Guam. Signed and adopted by Speaker Stephanie Lorenzo and Legislative Secretary Connie Abbott on today.
Thank you very much, Vice Speaker of the Guam Youth Congress, Mr. Alabang. Thank you for being here, and to all of our representatives from the Guam Youth Congress, Situus Masi. I'd also like to recognize others in our Zoom room, Ms. Christinda Uggan, the Deputy Director of the Department of Youth Affairs, President of the University of Guam, Dr. Thomas Kreis, Yvonne Paulino from the Department of Youth Affairs. Thank you very much for joining us and for being our partners in Youth Month and all of the work that we continue to do together. So like I mentioned, to all of our partners here, I'd like to give a couple of minutes to each of you to tell us how you're celebrating Youth Month, to give a little plug for your organization and what you're doing. And so I'd like to start with really the leaders of Youth Month for all of us, the Department of Youth Affairs Director, Melanie Brennan.
Hi, good afternoon. Hafa Senator Shelton, members of the Guam Youth Congress, and other special guests. Thank you so much for the opportunity to recognize April as Youth Month and to recognize all of Guam's youth serving agencies and partners. I think, but most importantly, for acknowledging the value of youth contributions to our island and just how much we can learn from them by giving them a seat at the table, allowing them a voice to speak freely about the challenges and issues that confront them, supporting their refreshing perspectives, promoting positive youth development, and giving them an avenue to excel our pathways to a successful future that will benefit all of us for a more prosperous and safer island. So I just wanted to limit it to that. I know there's a lot of people on board, but just thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. And Biba Youth.
Biba, thank you so much, Director Brennan, for those remarks. Thank you. I'd like to move over to the Guam Department of Education, Superintendent John Fernandez, and then we could also have someone from the board and an IBOGS representative if you'd all like to chime in today.
Hafa Day and good afternoon. Thank you, Senator Shelton, and thank you, Director Brennan, and all of the organizations for the partnership around supporting our youth. Let me also say hello to Senators Ada and Senator Brown. Again, that's the key. I think the key for us is when we look around the Zoom room, I know we're not physically together, but what I can say is that word partnership really does ring true, because all of you and your organizations, at the Guam Department of Education, we serve 30,000, students, and we do our best to give them the education and the support that they need to thrive and to grow into full-fledged, productive citizens in our community. But each and every one of you as partners play a role in trying to keep our kids on that path. And as I look at you, and you're all of you with your different capacities and capabilities and different resources and supports, we're all working together to get our kids going in one direction towards their success and towards our island success. So during Youth Month, I just want to thank all of the partner organizations for just continuing to work together through these very difficult times to do what we ultimately want to do, bring our kids back to school, get them back into their routines, give them the support, the safe environments that they deserve. And I think, during this pandemic, it's really become important to understand that we've got to do all we can to keep our kids moving forward. And hopefully they'll help us to solve all these future problems and future challenges that we know are out there. So Biba to our youth and Biba to all of our partners. Thank you very much.
Biba, thank you very much, Superintendent. And now the Chairman of the Board, Mr. Mark Mendiola of the Guam Department of Education Board.
Hafa-Adai senators and all those in attendance, Jesus Masi for the opportunity. We just recently got off with a meeting with the IBOG's representatives, and I can honestly say you hit it right on the head, Senator, when you talk about including our students in our activities. We have membership on our board, and their voice is very powerful when we empower them. So just recognizing their contributions to the Department of Education, whether it be to their leadership student organizations or whether it be advocating for certain policy changes within the Department of Education. We are so grateful that we listen to them and that we give them an opportunity to share their thoughts of what should be for their future. And I'm pretty sure many of us who are probably at this age in our stage in our life, we at one point in time were leaders in our student governments and all that stuff. And it's carried us through, and that networking, that opportunity. So I know there's some senators that were in Youth Congress or whether involved in their student organizations. So this is a great way to recognize those folks, those students that are in the leadership roles and our youth that are making a difference every day. And I also just want to thank also my fellow board member, Maria Gutierrez, who is a mentor for the IBOG's organization. They call her Grandma G. And so to all the mentors out there that help guide and shape our future leaders, thank you for the work that you do, because they do need that type of support. And we can only look forward to the future, and the future is going to be great. And I can tell that just by the youth involvement. Siduas Masi, have a wonderful day, everybody.
Siduas Masi, Chairman Mendiola. And I'd also like to recognize one of your other board members who's joined us, Mr. Robert Crisostomo, who is also the principal of St. Anthony Catholic School. And I see some of your team there in the background. Thank you very much for joining us. And I'll have the mentor of the IBOGs, Mrs. Gutierrez, if you can introduce us to your IBOG members, and we'll have them speak a little bit about what they're doing.
Thank you, Senator. I have been a mentor, and even with the Guam Youth Congress, I used to, way back as being the oldest board member, I used to work closely with the Guam Youth Congress, and that was like Jesse Kenga and Anthony Kenga. But today, I wanted to give the opportunity to the IBOGs, as Mr. Mendiola said. We just finished our meeting, and they were meeting. They had a presentation from Dr. Lawrence Camacho at UG. So I have the chair, Elisa Cuevas from Simon Sanchez. I have Marceli Borja, the PRO from Upudo High School. And I have Keisha Dumitas, the vice chair from Tizan High School. And they'll tell you how they celebrate Youth Month, because in the public school system, every month is recognition for students, the youth. So I want to turn this over to Alicia. Thanks. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much, Mrs. G. And please, Melissa, take it away.
So thank you so much for having the IBOGs, like me, Luis, me, Keisha, and Marshali, to actually talk a little bit about what we actually do as an IBOG. So for us, actually, every single month, we have an IBOGs takeover, where the IBOGs post student accomplishments and highlights and school activities that all those different schools that have done. And we've actually been doing this takeover since I believe it was December. And also the things that we also do to really help our students as well is having these meetings. Like as Mrs. G said, we did just have our UOG meeting, and we also invited the students from JFK, from Ukuru, and from all the different public high schools to join the meeting and actually be informed of what the different colleges have offered, like GCC and UOG.
Awesome. Thank you so much for giving us the update about iBogs and how busy you are. Thank you and happy Youth Month to all of you. I'd like to recognize from the University of Guam now, Dr. Kreis, President Kreis. Okay, perhaps we lost him. I don't see him anymore. And I know he was coming. Oh, there you are, Dr. Kreis. Okay.
Yes, Madam Chair. Oh, here I am, events related to this. So we've got our AmeriCorps group, which is quite large for a university our size. We have quite a few AmeriCorps volunteers. They have a focus group that's starting their work on the GDOE community learning centers today. And then they will be tying this into Youth Month. And then AmeriCorps will also be planning to conduct an event that is tied to Youth Month with a virtual outreach, inviting youth to a virtual symposium talking about various volunteer opportunities and how to be productive citizens. And then our Student Government Association is planning our annual Diversity Day Tritons Out Loud event at the end of this month. And so we'll highlight the Youth Month in that event as well. So BIBA Youth Month and BIBA UOG.
BIBA UOG, BIBA Youth. Thank you very much, Dr. Kreis. And now if I can have Mrs. Therese Ariola, from the director from the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness.
Good afternoon, everybody. Senator Shelton, Senators Addett and Brown. Thank you for having us, for inviting me. A lot of people on the Zoom room are very familiar because Guam Behavioral Health does a lot of partners across the island with many of the NGOs. And congratulations to Mel and Crescinda, my sister colleagues at DYA, for all that you do for the youth. But all I can say is that Guam Behavioral Health continues to be committed to providing the mental health and the substance abuse services that our young youth require today. So you can count on my support. You can count on our Children and Adolescent Service Division to be right there with you, helping our youth be all that they can be. So thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. And Biba Manhoban, thank you, everybody, for all that you do. God bless.
Biba and Sujuas Maasi to you. Now I'd like to ask Samantha Taitino, Executive Director of Menyetlu.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for having me here today. It truly is wonderful to see everybody, all of these youth serving organizations. Definitely we miss seeing each other in person, but it's nice to see everybody virtually. So yes, I'm with Menyetlu. Our mission is to empower and educate youth and families to improve their lives for the better forever. And so we've been a youth serving organization here on island for about 20 years now. So super excited to announce that we have started back our community activities. So of course, a smaller than what we're used to. And then actually next week, super excited to be back at DYA assisting with the students there. So we're excited to see the progress as 2021 continues. So thank you so much for having us, and Biba you.
Thank you very much, Samantha and Menyetlu, for all of your partnership. Now we'll move on to Sanctuary Incorporated, Mr. Victor Camacho, Executive Director.
Hi, buenas and half a day, everybody, senators, agency directors, all our partners, all our funders that are here, and everybody that helps Sanctuary do what we do. I do want to thank those of my team that have were able to make it today. We have Stephanie Guzman, Corey Regis, Angela Tobis, and a couple others I believe were joining us as well. But again, nothing new. We're all here doing what we do for the youth. We continue to work through this pandemic. We make no excuses for providing the services that we need to provide for our youth. They didn't ask for this pandemic either. And as they're struggling, in their lives, they need people like us. They need our support to continue to provide services for them. So again, we haven't shut our doors. We are opening up all of our of our preventative programs. Our groups have started up again. Our drug and alcohol counseling has never stopped, but we've expanded that. So we're just very happy to be here. Very happy for the trust that our community has put in us. We're celebrating 50 years this year, so we look forward to a lot of events. We'll be reaching out to all of you to, of course, we'd love to have a nice big party, but we can't. So we do want to thank you all for your partnership, and Viva.
Biba, thank you so much, Vic and Sanctuary, for all that you do. We'll move on to the Guam Football Association, Mr. Tino Sengil. Please unmute, Mr. Sengil. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. 43 years ago, I was part of the Youth Congress. I was, my mentor was Senator Taitano, Richard Taitano. So I know so much about youth. And at that time, I was the president of Father Dueñas, and we used to have a sports day. And I was in charge of sports day over at GW. So I know I discussed this with Superintendent John Fernandez about having a youth day again. And we like to put it out that we would like to host the sports day up at GFA using our sand for beach volleyball, our grass for flag rugby, flag football, soccer. We can ask the Department of the Sports Complex to use the basketball gym and also the baseball field. So that way we can bring back sports into our high school again. We did it before when it was my time, and like to see if it could come back again. So that's what we are planning. And today I was looking over at some sponsors. We were discussing it and some of our marketing group to see if it's possible for next year. So those are the things that we're looking at for next year.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Mr. Sengil. We will all be looking forward to a big sports day for our students. Thank you for that. Now we'll move on to Mr. Robert Camacho from St. Anthony Catholic School.
Well, Senator, hello, everybody. My colleagues talked earlier, the board members, and they did a great job recognizing our youth. Congratulations to all our youth leaders. St. Anthony is proud to present and offer Ella Cepeda as the winner for the counterpart for the lieutenant governor. And I told her specific instructions to talk the lieutenant governor's ear off about St. Anthony's needs, and then talk about the needs of the youth in general and how we can help the island move forward. This pandemic has hurt a lot of our youth in education, and we have to fix that. St. Anthony has been in full session since January 19, and we want the rest of the population to come on board and receive adequate education, because the youth is our future. And if we don't take charge of it now, we will be the recipient of bad things that will happen in the future. So, Senator, I was talking to my staff, and they remember that you graduated and you are an alumni of St. Anthony. And the products we produce here at this school clearly shows in the leadership being exhibited now, currently in the Guam legislature. So congratulations, everybody.
Thank you very much, and Hafaday, everyone at St. Anthony. Yes, my alma mater. Thank you for that. I'll move on now to Angelana Sablan from Chief Harao Academy.
Hafaday, Torres Hamzu, Sizos Maasi, Senadora Shelton, Sizos Maasi Lokwi, para Tori Mangaigi Gwini, Pagu para Sina celebrations and Tori Tetsu Mizus and Iman Hoben Guahan. Gof Magofam para Bin Celebra, Iman Hoben Esina Mes and Torres Hamzu, Sa Magahit Nasia Sampri Kumot Gahit Mona no. At Chief Harao Academy, the focus and goal of all of our programs are Tsumodu language revitalization and sustainability, as well as instilling strong cultural values and self-identity in our students. We serve a wide range of ages, but our main focus really is Ifamago and, you know, the children. We've been doing this work for quite some time, and I think that we can agree that one thing is for sure, that it's really the children, that they're the key to true language revitalization for our island. We've watched them since we started our preschool program 2 years ago. We've just seen how amazing their progress has been, and truly just watching them grow and hearing them speak and witnessing the impact that they have on their families as young as they are. You know, they're the ones kind of driving their families forward and driving their elders forward in this work, and it just inspires us to keep doing our work. So though our youth programs are, the face-to-face programs are currently closed right now, we hope to open very soon next year. We have made an effort to continue the work. We've just recently launched our online program, Menteni Familia, which is self-directed courses for children and families to learn Samodu at home. So we're really doing what we can, but we really like to thank also all of you here today and our community on Guam. We really see the work that everyone has been trying to do also in language revitalization in regard to the youth. Pues, Sizuas Maasi, thank you again for this opportunity. Biba Menhobin.
Biba and Siduous Maasi. I'd like to recognize Miss Juanita Blas from Island Girl Power.
Half a day. Thank you for having me. I appreciate being included on this recognition. Youth Month is such an important thing, just to be able to recognize in a national forum, but also keep in mind that April is also sexual assault awareness, underage drinking awareness, and we just want to make sure that we provide the best environment for our youth. All of our partners here at the table today in this Zoom conference, they play such a vital role. But you know, it's important that we remember prevention is key. And what you're doing right now, acknowledging the youth programs for this Youth Month, is so important. Island Girl Power is reaching our 20th anniversary, and we've been doing this a long time. But in our work with the young ladies, we learned really quickly that you can only do so much to empower the young girls, and you must work on inspiring the community at the same time. And so our work to inspire the community through our Corazones Sing Song Center, our Heart of the Village Center in Dededo, does that. We've worked in service learning programs, service learning projects, the Guam Service Learning website. We have an active community garden, and one of our Island Girl Power volunteers, Miss Sophie Nachafranca, is the oratorical winner, and she is serving as the speaker for the Youth Congress. And so, you know, my hat's off to the young people, because it is through them and their excitement we are able to advance the programs at Island Girl Power. And whether it's working in the nature parks or revitalizing some of the neighborhood parks in Kaiser or around the island, the service learning projects that we're putting forth is allowing us to keep our mission, even in light of COVID. And so, although DOE is not requiring service learning at this time, there has been so much activity on the website. Students are looking for projects they can do at home and in their neighborhoods. And so, just to let you all know, whether it's required or not, the kids are out there and they're active, and they're doing amazing things in their neighborhood communities. And I just like to say thank you, and look forward to many wonderful things coming for Island Girl Power. new and expanded thrift store through the Gura Community Development Block Grant, and an advisory board that is going to help us to reach forward and do some amazing things in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Blas and Island Girl Power. Yes, you are indeed inspiring with all that you do with our community. Thank you very much. Karina Quito from the Guam Girl Scouts, if you're still on the line with us.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Senator Shelton, Senator Ada, and Senator Brown for recognizing the work that we do, that we all do in the community for the youth of our island. This year, Guam Girl Scouts, we're celebrating our 85th anniversary. We were established in 1935 by Agata Johnson and Francis Darr. Just some Guam Girl Scout history. Our first two troops were established at George Washington High School. Our first Guam Girl Scout field trip was to the Spanish Steps in Naval Base Guam in November 1935. Also during that time, the first Guam Girl Scout cookie sale. They used a single recipe. They worked with a community partner, the Estacio Bakery. They made and delivered peanut butter cookies to those who ordered, sold them for 10 cents a dozen. And they made over 1,200 dozen of cookies during that first sale. So 85 years later, the Guam Girl Scout movement continues with over 200 members. We have in grades kinder through 12. And it's definitely not possible without the support of our community, our troop leaders, our volunteers, and all of our supporters. Thank you so much. To all of our community partners here today, we look forward to aligning our mission and our efforts with all of you, working together for the youth of our island. So thank you all so much, and Viva Manhopen.
Biba, thank you so much. And we're all savoring the last of the cookies from this season. Thank you. We will move on to Elizabeth Aguero from the Guam Trades Academy. Maybe we'll get her back on in a little bit, but if Anthony Toves is here from our Juvenile Probation Office from the Judiciary of Guam. All right. We can also see if they come back on, but I'll move on now to Dean Lawrence Camacho from the University of Guam, who's also representing our UOG AmeriCorps Volunteer Center today.
Again, half a day, and buenas tardes para todos amigos. Sebenarnya maguf sa tajular dazi ifa maguanta biba manhobin. Specialmente ita ni man mages pagona tempo nisita ta guia mona ifa maguan. So I just want to kind of say that in Chamorro because I was very inspired by the the Hurrah Academy in her Chamorro, and I just wanted to always be proud of our own heritage. And it's very such an inspiration this afternoon, Madam Senator, for sharing this and really kind of pushing forward and taking the lead. So we appreciate your leadership in taking care of our youth here at Guam. My role here at the University of Guam is not just the Dean of Students and the Dean of Student Affairs, but I'm also the Executive Director for UOG AmeriCorps, involved with projects like West Care, Guam's One-Stop Data Village, and so many other things. And so you see where my inspiration is. As a former youth myself, wanting to educate the next leaders, problem solvers, and designers of our island, our region, and the globe, I wanted to be always present and always give my best efforts, right? So really inspirational to see all these great, wonderful leaders. The iBox meeting that we had this afternoon was wonderful. In AmeriCorps, we have focus areas in the way of educational outreach, health outreach, capacity building, sustainability. So proud of our volunteers or our student service members who are over in the field house each and every day now, as being a part of the effort for saving Guam and the vaccination site. So really proud of that effort. Dr. Christ alluded to some of the other activities that we have going on. And lastly, I wanted to reach out to Mr. Sangil and say, hey, look, we would like to partner with you in the youth day the sports day that you're planning for, because our university athletics here can also be great help to be part of that event. So appreciate the time and thank you for inviting me and my colleagues here to this. Thank you, Senator.
Seduis Masi Dean Camacho, and I'm glad to see that this is not just a day to celebrate our youth, but a great day for collaboration and partnership. So thank you, everyone, for all that you're offering here today. For the last of our organizations, Ms. Cynthia Cabot, the Executive Director of the Guam Coalition Against Sexual Assault and Family Violence. Half a day, ma'am.
And thank you so much for extending the invite to me on behalf of the Guam Coalition Against Sexual Assault and Family Violence. And certainly we wish to congratulate all, recognizing first of all, the work of our youth in this event, in being the mainstay, being the center of attention for this resolution. We certainly have lots of activities going on this month, and just wanted to also call out our partnership with the Department of Youth Affairs, as well as with Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center and Public Health and Social Services, also in recognizing April, in addition to it being Youth Month. Also, as Juanita mentioned earlier, Sexual Assault Awareness Month. It is also Child Abuse Prevention Month and National Crime Victims' Rights Week. So yes, lots to do and lots to raise awareness of for this month. So we join all of our partners, and thanks to you, Senator Shelton, and our distinguished leaders for being role models as well for our Manoban. As this month is also, the theme is on We Are in This Together, so too is the Guam Coalition. And thank you for this opportunity.
Seduis Masi, Ms. Cabot, thank you very much for being here today. And to all of our partners, if I've missed anyone, please let me know. There are so many of you in the Zoom room, and I tried to catch all of you in the chat. But if I haven't, please just put it in the chat, and I would be glad to recognize you. At this time, I'd like to offer some time to my colleague, Senator Atta, if you have any remarks to celebrate Youth Month.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you to our community partners for all that you do to mentor our youth and to, guide them as they become future leaders of our island. And to our youth leaders, thank you for all that you do to ensure that our youth that look up to you are guided in the right direction. If you all notice that at the beginning of our Zoom, I had my first grandson with me, and he's going to be one of those youth that you guys will be guiding and leading. And we hope that we continue to do what's right for our children and our grandchildren. And I just thank you guys for everything that you guys do. And Guam will always be a better place, and Guam will always be home, because this is what all of us do together, is to make it a better place for everyone to live. But thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to say a few words.
Seduis Masi, Senator Atta, and congratulations to you and your family on the new baby. What a joy. Senator Brown?
Thank you very much, Senator Shelton, also to Senator Atta. I myself also many years ago, I think it's almost 38 years ago, was selected in an oratorical contest as a speaker for Island Leadership Day. And less than 10 years later, I was a member of the Guam legislature, and I was still in my 20s at the time. So everything that's being experienced by all our wonderful organizations and our young people out there, when they say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, they're not kidding. And tomorrow is really right around the corner. It's not something you have to wait 20 or 30 years to do. And so having these opportunities and experiences and being able to collaborate, and then also what you're able to learn in this process, and look for your future of what you can contribute back to your community, because there's so many good things that we'd like to continue to see. And the future is yours. I mean, today it's yours, and you can continue to be a part of that process. If you don't like how things are going, you can make that difference by stepping up. And not everybody does that. It's not easy. Leadership is not an easy task to take on. Sometimes it's very lonely, but at the same time, you're able to help shape and define the community you live in. And for me, it was always important, because this is where my family is, and the people I love and care about are here on this island. That's why I do what I do. So I look forward to continuing to see the success of all our young people out there, because gosh, the time's coming too. We'd love to hand all this over and all the responsibilities that go with it. So congratulations to all of you young people out there, and all of those of you that help mentor our leaders of today and our leaders that will continue on in the days ahead and the months ahead and the years ahead. So thank you very much, and congratulations to everyone. Thank you very much, Senator Shelton.
Thank you very much, Senator Brown. I think I followed in your footsteps. I shadowed Speaker Ben Pangilinan about 15 years ago after the oratorical contest, and then became a senator in my 20s. So I look forward to a long life of service just like you. And I hope that all of the youth who are watching today can see that it can begin now. I know that everyone likes to tell us that the youth are our future, and that's true. But I think that you as youth are leading in different ways right now, and you're serving as inspiration to your peers and to the future generations who will look to you and what we can do at even a young age. And it doesn't matter how young we are, there's still so much value that we can bring to the table and that we can contribute. So we are so thankful to all of you. And I just wanted to give a chance to the Guam Youth Congress, maybe another representative who's on the line who'd like to give us some closing remarks, and then we'll top it all off with a big Biba Manhoban and then a photo for everyone. Maybe Nolan or Ben, if you're still here. Oh, great. There you are, Nolan.
Hi, Hofade Sizos Masi, to all the senators, Senator Shelton, for having us here today, and for everyone who was able to come and make it and celebrate Youth Month. And yeah, like Senator Shelton said, it's often touted that we are the voice of tomorrow, the leaders of tomorrow, but we're also very much the leaders of today, the voice of today, and the change makers that we need to be in our respective communities. So of course, we celebrate that here. And, I just encourage everyone to really find the changes that need to be made within your respective communities, whether that's within your school, within your village, and just go out there, be the change that you like to see, as cliche as it is. And yeah, really use your voice as youth. It's very critical, very important in all that we do. Sizos Masi.
Sizos Masi, Nolan. Ben, Representative Tyron.
Sizos Masi, Senator Shelton. Yes, I think, just echo the sentiments of my colleague. The youth are definitely a part of leadership today. We see more and more youth taking and stepping up in leadership roles. And it is through our leadership and our advocacy for each other that we are transforming the society as we know it. And so I just want to thank everybody here today, both those of the youth organizations and our allies who are working to make Guam a better place for everyone, but especially for those who are just growing through this time. I know the pandemic has been a very difficult time, and so providing different services and different means for our youth to get engaged in the community is such an important thing to do. And Biba Menhobin and Sizos Maasi to everyone present.
Biba Sizos Maasi. And lastly, Representative Lazama from Tidsin High School of the Guam Youth Congress.
Senator Shelton, for having all of us here today. And I just have a message for our youth. You're never too young to have a voice, and you're never too young to create change, regardless of how big or how small that impact can be. Even the smallest change can go a long way. And sometimes the smallest minds and the most youngest minds can be the most brilliant and the most intelligent in the room. And that's the one thing I love about our youth, is that we're so resilient. And sometimes I think kids can be more open-minded than the adults in some situations. But our ideas, our thoughts, and our ambitions and our will to keep moving forward is what drives me the most to help take part in creating change for a better world. And I think that's what separates us from the rest, is our will for a better world and how we want to keep improving regardless of how much we've accomplished. We never settle for less, and we just keep striving to be better, not just as students, not just as athletes or as children or as youth Congress representatives, but as human beings, and just to be better as human beings and to improve on a daily basis. And I think that's what makes us most special. And I have immense gratitude to be a part of this generation of youth that has so much heart, and it's really beautiful. So to our youth, keep inspiring the world and never ever lose sight of that. So thank you, Senator Shelton, for having us here today.
Thank you so much. And yes, please keep inspiring us. Before you all go, I'll ask that you all unmute yourselves. I know we've probably never been on a Zoom call where everyone was unmuted, but we'll take the opportunity to turn on our cameras to unmute ourselves, and together we'll say, Biba Menhoben.
Viva, man.
Viva.
Viva.
And Biba
Open registration at St. Anthony.
Okay, and
Keep
stay on
smiling.
for one moment and keep smiling for our photo.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Siduous Masi, everyone, and thank
Safe
you,
weekend,
all
everybody.
of our organizations. Have a safe weekend, and I want to highlight that the
Thank
Youth
you.
Congress tomorrow will have a session at 9 a.m. live streamed on the legislature's YouTube channel. So please tune in and see what our Youth Congress is up to these days. Siduous Masi, adios, and have a safe weekend.
Thank you.
Viva.
Thank you.
Senator.